To be fair, this is like their premium Walkman. I think there's cheaper ones.
Sony's a public company, right?
Yeah, it is. Oh,
I honestly want to see this in the next 10K and see how much revenue they're getting from this.
yeah.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the Select All podcast. We're on episode 12 now. We're making it week by week. I hope you guys can subscribe and like. That'd be great. So today we got an interesting episode for you guys today. We are going to be talking about a bunch of things. But before I do that, as always, we have to introduce ourselves. You know me, I'm Kowinder. I'm the coding nerd. I love to code in my free time. We have Ali, who's the marketer. He's the marketer, and he wants to always kind of change the ethos and the understanding of what marketing is in the world. And then we have Mo, the grumpy engineer, who just basically stares you down if you write bad code. All right, so what we're going to be talking about today is a couple of products. We have the Writer AI, which basically detects if there is content that was written by AI or not. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Galaxy Me, which is a platform that allows you to text in ideas and then rate them, and then it basically gives you different metrics and as to which one's good, which one's not, based on your own input. We'll talk about that as well. And another thing is Sony Walkman. They are reintroducing the Walkman, which is pretty interesting. And then lastly is Tesla's self-driving car video in 2016. So there's some things around that we will also obviously be discussing as well. Sorry?
Some juice.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so why don't we kick it off? Ali, if you can just kick off the writer content stuff. Tell us about it. Share your screen, perhaps.
Yeah, so obviously with the chat GPT kind of blowing up, been keeping an eye on like how that's going to affect how much kind of content is getting like flooded on the internet, which is already an insane amount of content, and that's not even like bots writing it all. So people are assuming that like Google will be able to like tell the difference between AI written content and human written content, and definitely penalize you if it's like bot written, and prioritize human written content. I didn't expect it to come out this fast, but there's already tools. I don't know if Google is actually penalizing people yet or not, but there's already tools to detect if it's human or bot. So if I'm going to share here. So I just grabbed a random paragraph from like a website, and then I asked ChatGPT to write me a 300-word introduction on a blog post on that same topic. ChatGPT just did not want to listen. She just kept going and going. I had to stop it. That's enough. So if we analyze this text here, and let's grab the ChatGPT written text, analyze. Then if we come back here, 100% written, human. And here it's like 15% bot generated. Let's do like another random paragraph. Next paragraph. This one kind of thinks it's more of a human. Let's do another paragraph.
Interesting.
What if you did the whole like multiple paragraphs? Yeah.
Let me just test this one. This one also looks like around 76. I think there's a word limit on that tool, but we can check. 87.
Huh. Oh, wow. I don't know if it's Chat GPT that's good or this tool needs a bit of tweaking.
Well, this is for it to even tell. Like this is 100. It knows it's human.
Yeah.
For it to even like guess, right? Like how? It's just words. You get what I'm trying to say?
I mean, it's not just words. There's patterns. Like every human has a pattern to speaking and a pattern to writing. It's the same for AI, right? That pattern's based on the model and like whatever data it has to like build its model.
Yeah, but I think about that, right? It's like, what is the difference between, because usually there are patterns for sure, right? But everybody has a unique way of like talking or like kind of writing, right? And Mo, you will write slightly differently than I will write, right? but at the end of the day, it's still text, it's still communicating information, right? This is basically saying I can detect all the different variations of a human, and then I can say that's separate from an AI. And I know that the model is being trained the same way, but it's very interesting how I can do that. Like, it's basically saying like, this is really not human. This is human.
And you also take this, you put it in a read writer, like to rephrase it. You bring it back. It's back to human. Writing, so paraphrase. Quillbot is another tool. It's to paraphrase stuff. So we're gonna bring in this first paragraph. It's this first paragraph, the one that got a really low score. So if we bring it in here, paraphrase it. Okay, this is 15%. We're paraphrasing. We're gonna take this new copy, bring it in, analyze. It comes up.
Interesting.
Human.
Yeah.
I think this is just the start of like the AI wars between AIs and AI detectors. Like, we obviously there's one for this. I'm sure there's internal tools at Google or other companies that like, I know chess.com is working on something to detect if a user is using like some AI tool, not even AI tool, just any like software tool to help them like in chess matches, and they'll analyze like different matches from users. It's just a war on content. Oh, I hate that phrase.
And I think you're right. It's going to get even more aggressive, right? I see it happening across the world where it's getting to a point where it's like, what is AI, what is not, and there's going to be a huge war against AI in general, right? And it's funny because AI is going to be fighting AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember for Amazon reviews, like a lot of it is just spam, right? And there was a tool to like, you'd analyze the reviews and it'd tell you like how many of these are fake or how many of these are repeated just with different words. But yeah,
it's ridiculous. We're heading into new territory. It'd be cool if like some of these AIs could just generate ideas. Like now it's like getting to a point where it does generate content in general. I remember there was a couple of products that had come about a while back to generate ideas, but now it's getting to a point where I think it would actually get pretty good. But I think we'll still need things like to store human ideas, right? And so that's kind of the next product that we're going to be talking about as well, where you can actually store ideas and how to rank them. So Mo, why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, just give me a minute. Ali, I think you need to stop sharing. Awesome. So this is a pretty interesting tool. I found it super helpful. And it's, not a separate app you have to download. It works via text, which is, kind of rare these days, but it also works as a Telegram bot. Essentially, you just type it an idea, it'll log it for you, and then it has some commands for you to like retrieve them ideas, but it will also prompt you every couple of days to rank between different ideas. So over time, you will have a ranking of like any ideas in this list, which is pretty interesting. I find it pretty handy because like sometimes you like, I guess a bunch of us listening to this are interested or have a lot of brimming ideas, but just sometimes there's so much you don't know which ones to choose or how to manage like and retrieve like remember it all. So I found this a handy tool. I started using it. But yeah, what do you guys think?
Yeah, so it's interesting. When I saw this initially, I thought, yeah, like it is cool. I generally just write all my ideas on like a notes app. So I have like a running list, or I will, if it's like a link or something like that, I'll email it to myself. And then I have a label for it. So I just label it under ideas. But I do kind of see the benefit of it. It's like, okay, you're kind of texting this thing. It's in the ethos. You don't have to think about it, and it'll help you rank them by itself. But I feel like it can be easily set up with like a Zapier like integration or something that just reminds you every so often, right? Like this is not hard to create, I feel,
Mm-hmm.
and It'd be cool if it was open source.
The ones you text, once you text it, you can't log online to like kind of see everything.
You can. I think not technically online. I think you can do that through the Telegram app, where like on a laptop you'll open up your Telegram account, and then there's a way for you to see all of your ideas, and then you can delete or prune which ones you have. Like it opens up a separate website. I'm not sure how. I'm pretty sure that's not secure, but what's up?
But there's also like commands right there, right? Like you just say best ideas, you text it best ideas, and it'll, or like right there, all ideas.
Yeah.
You just text it and give you all the ideas.
Link to your ideas in a web page. There you go.
Yeah. My other concern was just the kind of security of it. Like you're texting this random bot like all the ideas, and you're ranking it for them, right? So all they have to do is like rank across all users and get number one out of all ideas, and then
what you're missing is that everyone has a great idea every day. It's the execution that matters. What I do think is happening is this guy is actually feeding it into an AI model to generate ideas. That's what's happening. That's why it's free.
Yeah, that could be very interesting as well. But to be honest, it's like they don't. I know implementation is the hard part for sure. I agree, but more often than not, we think we have good ideas, but we actually don't. Right? And so it's getting all the ideas across the board. It's a numbers game. He might actually hit across a good idea from someone. So it's kind of like if I had a really good idea, which I thought was a really good idea, I probably wouldn't want to share this on this thing.
Maybe, but how do you algorithmically rank ideas between two different people?
AI, I'm sure you train enough.
Yeah, first of all, if you're saying it like you're like you mentioned, if he has aggregating all this data into an AI and then say give me the best idea, he might get that. First of all, you need a training model to say what is a good idea, right? So maybe he'll like get Facebook in there and like all these other companies that actually worked, and then kind of go against that. But my point is, you're ranking it for him. Like even though you say okay, it might be you might rank badly. If let's say 100,000 people use this and they have 5 ideas and they rank all them, some of them number one, all he has to do is go across the board, and then like he can pay someone to go through 100,000 ideas and say, okay, you rank them, or like 5 people rank the same list, and then now get like an average or something. You know what I mean? Like,
seems like a lot of effort for very little payout, or a very high risk payout.
Fair enough. But I personally, if I had that data, I could look through it. I would look through a bunch of ideas and do something
more often. Like what are a lot of people complaining about? If he gets a high user count, right?
Say that again. I didn't get to the first part.
If they're getting a high number of users sending ideas, they can just get all the ideas that are duplicated. Like if multiple people are complaining about the same thing, then you know it's a good idea because it's like.
Yeah, but then you run into the problem like how two people write ideas differently. How do you know they're the same idea? And some of them, sometimes you just put in the short form like a tire wrap. Like what is a tire wrap, right?
What is that?
I don't know, but like
oh, okay. I thought that was something.
Yeah. Like I'm giving you an example of how I have used it sometimes, where it's like it's a really quick like here I'm gonna text tire wrap. Right? Only I really know what that means, and I'm sure it's going to be the same way with like this. Like I'm sure there's someone out there going like super specific, like a burger joint at Main and 4th. Like that gives you no context or value other than the person who made it.
Yeah, that's fair. Cause you proved your point by saying tire up and not saying what is that. Like you proved your point. Fair point. Yeah, so it's interesting. I think, as you said, if I use it without context, I think I'd use it. I don't know. What about you, Ali? Would you use this?
I think it's just for me. I might as well use my notes app or a reminders app. But I do see the value in it. Like I see it. Sometimes
I do like the ranking aspect.
I feel like I'm texting somebody, so I might feel like I'm like sharing it a little bit, which is actually I know it's like a negative, but it's also like a good thing. It's like just feel good, a little dose of dopamine.
Yeah. It would be cool if they ranked my idea for me. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Just a guy in the, I don't know, Philippines or something, just reading this idea and like, 5. Just ranking it, sending it back. All right. So the next thing we're gonna move on to is what's hot, right? Or what's hot segment. Um, it's very interesting. There's a lot of nostalgia going around. We were just discussing Zellers and them coming back, but Sony has topped it. I think from my end, they're bringing back the Walkman. So Mo, how about you tell us about that?
For
What is
sure.
happening?
Like the hi-fi music game has been around the block with Tidal, Apple Music, and now Sony, I guess, is seeing a market and is trying to get back into it. But I just want you guys to prepare yourself for what is essentially a music player without, like, yeah, it's essentially a music player.
So it's kind of like an iPod,
Yes,
but
player.
in sorry.
MP3 player.
it is an iPod, but it is a $1,100 iPod.
1100. What is it? Does it have tech? Like,
It's a phone. It's an
Does
Android
it
phone with.
does it print money?
I guess for Sony it must.
Jeez,
I
that's
mean,
crazy.
given the context of what this product is, it's obviously not meant for us mortals. It's meant for the people that can actually detect the difference between like good quality audio or not.
the audio on it is supposed to be like amazing.
Yeah, I guess like you can, if you get into the wormhole of hi-fi audio equipment, it gets expensive really quick. It's also a lot of snake oil. Like
Hmm.
I
What do you mean by
guarantee
that?
I guarantee you like 99, like I guarantee you all three of us here cannot tell the difference between a streamed music file and something from a CD. Like we just
Yeah,
don't have that
probably
kind of
not.
ear. We don't even have that kind of equipment. Like these are studio headphones with like that are like $1,200 or something crazy like that, right? Like
So this
you just
audio is supposed to be as good as playing it from a CD.
audio CD is quality on a CD is better. The bit rate is higher, but at a certain range, like
Yeah, yeah.
your ears physically cannot tell the difference.
That's honestly like there are a few people that I know that are like at this level where they just love sound, but I'm like, why? You're getting if you're getting like 80 to 90% of it on normal things, probably why? Right? Why spend the freaking
Yeah,
$800 over the top?
I don't. If this is like a consumer product, I feel like if they stripped the phone features out of it and just kept it like a device like that's like $400 even.
to be fair, this is like their premium Walkman. I think there's cheaper ones
There is.
like products. Let's see, car audio. Where would it be under media?
Sony's a public company, right?
Yeah, it is. Oh, audio.
Okay. So then I honestly want to see this in the next 10K and see how much revenue they're getting from this
Yeah.
because it's ridiculous.
So yeah, sorry. There's even more expensive. Like you're getting like this is just a flex at this point. I guess the cheapest is 480, which is still expensive. Honestly, like don't buy this. You have
Yeah.
better, like especially if you're buying this to stream music. Like kind of defeat
Yeah, exactly. It's like you already have a $2,000 phone that can do the same thing. But wait, because this is exactly like a phone.
yeah, you don't even need this thing specific. I mean, I guess it's nice to have it on, but you can get an external DAC and you can load the audio files onto your phone, and it'll do the same thing for like
Yeah.
a third the price.
Yeah, exactly. That's ridiculous. Wow. All right. That's very interesting. I don't know if I would even I wouldn't even get the $400 one. But it's an interesting concept. I think playing on nostalgia really works sometimes.
They should have
It
brought it more
is to an
nostalgia.
extent. Like I personally have a high quality MP3 player, and I used it for all of 6 months. Like
Yeah.
it's just not worth the hassle, to be honest. Like because to get the full high quality audio experience, you got to carry around a wired headphone. You got to load
Mm,
your music onto the player so that it's like a actual file instead of stream. And then you're like, wait, I could just do the same thing with my iPhone and a pair of AirPods, and it's like, to me, the same experience. Like, sure, these headphones are nice when I'm sitting down, but if I'm on the go, like, I'd rather just use my AirPods.
I feel like they're gonna tap into the nostalgia. They should
100%.
have done more, like something more nostalgia.
You know what they should have done is like brought back like the external look and feel of it. Like I know they tried, but like going really back to like the yellow Walkman or something, you know, the SD card opens with the button, like it opens up and like you can have like cartridges and shit. I don't know.
Honestly, I think they should have just released a premium portable CD player. Like that would have been it. Like $100 portable CD player. Yo, I'm game. Take my money. But I don't know. This ain't it.
Yeah, they try to put both sides.
That would be pretty cool. Like I still find random CDs, you know, and
I still buy CDs.
Right?
Oh wow.
I don't know. They're on your own there.
I mean, yeah, it's more of like nostalgia, and I think it's nice. I don't know, but that's a topic for a different discussion.
Yeah, honestly. Hey, good try. Let's see. You never know though. It's like, for example, people buy like $50,000 purses, right? And it's like there. I'm sure there's a market somewhere. Then again, like those purses apparently go up in value. I did not know this. It's insane. Like there's this like a Rolex. One of my friends was telling me there's a Rolex limited edition, one of one, $125,000, and he's like, if we buy this, we could sell it for 150 like the next day. And he's like, do you guys want to go in on this? And I'm like, no, like I'm like, maybe, I don't know. Like if there's like 10 of us, maybe, but that's a lot of money. So it's like, you never know. These things might go up in value later on, and but it is a digital product, so it might not. I don't know. Okay, so there's next thing, which is interesting, is the Tesla self-driving video. So there was some sort of like a hidden element at the beginning of the episode of what it is. So, but Ali, how about you tell us what is up with this 2016 video?
It sounded like there's rumors that the 2016 self-driving demo was all staged, and like a senior engineer testifying to it.
Wait, I thought, what do you mean rumors? I thought it was the actual like product director or something, like someone, not just like a random engineer, but like
it's a senior engineer testifying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought it was like a director or something that was like, yeah, it's fake.
I don't know fully if it's like actually like testify, or did he just say like, because anybody could just say anything, I guess, too. But at the same time, I don't recall the video. So if it was just a commercial, I think all brands fake everything in all their commercials anyways, right? Or at least very skewed.
Yeah, the way I see it is like it's like a testing. If it was like a testing video where they're showing progress, like it's kind of like a YouTube video where you kind of are going through the process, and they're like, all right, this is a technical video. Like when we press like the left signal, whatever, look at, it's going to change lanes automatically, right? And they're going through the process and things like that. That would be a bit more, I would say, disingenuous. But if it was more of a commercial where they just kind of showed bits and pieces of it, made it look cool, all that kind of stuff, showed the outside, showed them driving, then I would agree with you. Like then it doesn't matter what they've done in there.
Yeah.
I think the issue is that it's more of a marketing claim when they the context of the video matters, but I think it's also surrounding like whatever they're marketing. Like you're going to have full autonomous driving, which is not the case and hasn't been the case for years.
Still not.
It's still not. Yeah, it's not level 5, but it's gotten pretty close. What's that guy's name? Marquis
MKBHD.
Yeah, him. He basically did a video where he reviewed the Tesla Autopilot, and he went from like stationary, I believe, I'm pretty sure, to another point where it's he got into a plaza, and all he did was plug it in, and it basically drove all the way there automatically without intervention, except for one or two places where there's like pylons, and then it says, okay, I don't know what to do here, beep beep beep, starts slowing down, and then lets you control. and it always expects you to be at the driver's seat, and like every 3-4 seconds it like wants you to hold on to the steering wheel and add some pressure. But the fact that it did that, that's pretty cool. That's fairly close to not
Like
fully autonomous, but fairly autonomous. I don't know
like
if
it
that's a
drove
word.
on the road and then turned into the plaza.
Yep.
Oh, okay, not bad.
It turned into the plaza, and then it like started going to a little bit in, but then based on the Google Maps, it just thinks, all right, I've gotten to my destination now. Like if it would get a bit more fidelity and you could say which parking spot to go to, if like let's say you have a reserved parking stop, it'd probably go there as well.
Let's find the parking spot.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Yeah, I
find you
guess.
the farthest parking spot. It's gonna be
Yeah.
like it's that kind of driver, man.
Yeah. But I'll send you the link. It's pretty interesting. Like he goes through, it goes on the highway, changes lanes, everything. It's doing everything.
By the way, who calls Mar MKBHD by his first name?
Yeah, bro.
I have no idea. Like he's mentioned it a couple of times, and I think I've seen his Twitter more so. I think that's Marquis or something. I don't know. But I never remember the acronyms like MK. What is it?
If you give those
MKBHD.
letters in any order, everybody will.
Just like A B C D. It's like, oh, I think.
PKHD, you still got it.
Fair enough.
PMPHD, you still got it.
You
But
still got it.
I think it's just more fuel to the fire on what's happening with Tesla. Like, if this is true, it's another blow because between Elon trying to use Tesla stock as collateral for Twitter,
Yeah.
which is not going great. Tesla itself
Right.
being down because of the market and other players also. So it's just like, and on the autonomous driving, you can get like, I think it's like an Android device. You attach it with like to your car, and it does like, I want to say be generous and say like 70%, but it's probably close to like 60% of autonomous driving on the highway.
On the highway, but like from point to point.
It's pretty good. Like, maybe that's another product to talk about, but
Yeah.
it's just using the sensors on your car and its own video feed to like make decisions on accelerating or decelerating, switching lanes.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think I've seen, and it's open source or something, right?
Yeah.
The problem I see with that is like, I don't know, it might be pretty good, but is it really going to be competing with Tesla engineers who are literally focusing on this, like, that's their sole job, whereas this open source random project, I'm not sure how much funding they're getting. Like, are you going to be able to compete?
Yeah, I think it's the issue of stuff like, if you can get this to other car manufacturers like that are more cost effective, and they give it to you as like their package, like what more are you getting from a Tesla car than another automaker, which are like, they're waking up and realizing, consumers want EVs, consumers want smart vehicles, like how can we take over their space, right?
Yeah, if they kind of step in and help this open source project take it to the next level, that'd be pretty good. I just think what's happening with Tesla is just guerrilla warfare. As in, these automakers are like, shit, this company was able to compete for a very long time, but it is a very hard space to compete in, and these giants have kind of a foothold, and they don't want to let that go. So now that Elon Musk's made some interesting decisions, this is like the perfect opportunity, right? Market's down. He used it as collateral. Let's pump some things in the kind of, if this was a hit, this was the perfect opportunity, and they used it, right?
But I think even going back a few years, Tesla was always going to be in this rock and a hard place situation, because outside of the brand, what unique thing can it do, right? Like, everything else can be done by other automakers, and they are being done, right?
But I mean, like, their autopilot is ahead of the game relative to like most automakers, except for Waymo, which is Google.
For now, I mean,
yeah,
and I agree, yeah. But I think you're already seeing, Google has been partnering with other car companies for years. Like, they've partnered with Ford, General Motors on Android Auto, and I'm sure there's talks about integrating some sort of Google Maps with autonomous driving, Apple's getting into the car game, and they have a vested interest of obviously being a tech company making autonomous. Like, again, that stuff can be built. Like, there's outside of the brand moat, in my opinion. What else is there?
Yeah, I think that was their main thing, is just having more Teslas out there, more training data, right? They were the first movers, whatever. So if that advantage goes away very soon, then yeah, they're done, I think. But if they break through of level 5 autonomous vehicles or autonomy anytime soon, I think it's a game changer, right? Like, that is a breakthrough that like everyone's trying to do, and if they get through it, then they'll be the first ones, and everyone will probably want it, right? It'll give them a significant lead in that front. So
yeah, I think Tesla. I think other brands maybe will eventually catch up. I think Tesla just is the same thing as Apple, and I don't know how they can build their ecosystem like Apple has. But at the beginning, Apple wasn't an ecosystem; it was more just about the marketing and everything like that before it became an ecosystem.
What's interesting is I think other automakers have already built the other parts of the ecosystem, because I remember talks when I was at a unnamed auto company is about making car as a service, and they have started. They back then they were already making moves for like adjacent offerings where a car as a service makes sense within this ecosystem.
That is very interesting, actually. Wow. Yeah, I think, and I do hate the subscription service part though of automakers, but now that you framed it like that, that's very interesting.
BMW is charging. Wants to make all cars basically fully loaded and then charge you monthly, right?
That I hate. I legitimately do not like that. Like, if it's in the car, let me use it.
It's probably cheaper for them. They just have one line,
100%.
Right? They don't have to worry about all the different parts. And
yeah,
I do see some hackers just being like, "All right, guys, you already have the car. I know how to unlock all of this shit. That'd be cool." Yeah, very interesting stuff, man. The world's moving in very different ways. We see a lot of reintroduction of different businesses and like nostalgic on the nostalgic front, and then the AI wars, etc. Right? That's kind of like, I feel like the world is mainly like three main topics right now. It's like AI, real estate, and then just nostalgic, bringing back nostalgia. It's in one of those three fronts. Anyways, thank you everyone. If you guys made it this far, really appreciate you listening. Please subscribe and like our podcast. We really appreciate that. It really does help us with the YouTube algorithm. And please let us know if you really like our content or what else we should be discussing. We really appreciate it. We do end off every podcast with a question. And one of those questions last time, which was posed, is what makes you content, or how do you think you'd get?
Are you content?
Are you content? There you go. Thank you, Mo. And I'd kind of add to it. It's like, what do you think will help make you content? So I'm gonna put you on the hot seat, Mo. What do you think? Are you content, and what makes you what can get you there?
I'm gonna throw you a curveball and say it's not about being happy or being content. It's about being fulfilled. But to the actual question, at this exact moment in time, I am content. Things are, some things are rocky, some things could be better, but overall, pretty happy where I'm at in life.
Good. No, that's really good to hear. I will I see your fulfilledness and I raise you. Fulfillment is interesting because it's like you do want to be fulfilled, but then I'm assuming, I guess you have to define fulfillment for me. Like, what does that actually mean, and how does it actually differ from contentness?
Oh, that's a whole different book, man.
All right, fair enough.
Sorry, that is a huge philosophical question.
That's Select All podcast episode 13. But we can come back to that. So how about you, Ali? Are you content?
I'd say I'm content, but still, like, I don't know, maybe winter blues or what's going on. Just trying to do more in life still. Right?
Yeah. No, I see your point. I think I'm in the same boat as Ali. Like, I overall life's good, but there's a hunger for more at the moment, and that hunger isn't being quenched per se, and so it's kind of a frustration at the moment. And so I think overall I'm happy, but I think getting to content is going to be interesting, because I understand theoretically how to be content is just to view what it is and be thankful for what you are. And I think I can fake contentness, but it's not true contentness just yet.
And I think a bigger word too is like, might be content today, might be fulfilled today, but I also worry about in 10 years, will life continue as it keeps getting faster and faster? Well, we just wake up 10 years from now, and then, like that, as I always say, like when you're at your deathbed and stuff, like we all know it. And I'm sure everybody's like, that won't be me, right? But
So I'm gonna jump in and answer your earlier question. What's the difference between fulfilled and content? Fulfillment has nothing to do with how you're feeling. You can be miserable and fulfilled. You can be depressed, maybe not depressed, but you could be sad and fulfilled, right? Like, from everything I've read, happiness and contentment is like a temporary state of mind, whereas a fulfillment is a like more permanent sense of purpose.
So I've heard differently about contentness. I thought contentness is not related to happiness per se or joy. That's temporary,
Yeah.
whereas contentness is a bit more long term. But I do see your point.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's again, this could be a podcast. And I honestly, since we're the Select Out podcast, I would love to just pose this question and just talk about this.
We should do like a philosophical episode.
Yeah. And I guess we'll end it off with this, unless you guys have anything else to say. But I think my biggest fear is knowing that I'll probably be making more money or things along those lines, and you always want more, right? And that's the issue. It's like we have this house right now. I'm fairly happy in it. I get by and I enjoy it. I don't need anything more. But I know in 5 years or in 10 years or in 15 years, I'll probably be making more money. What's to say, be like, yeah, we can use a bigger house. And I know for a fact that in that bigger house, I'm going to get used to it in about a month or so. And then it's going to be the same state as I am right now. So what's stopping me? And I hope I can stop myself from making that decision as we get to that point in life.
So you had a question?
Me?
No, Cole.
No, that was the end of it.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to, yeah. But do you have a question for next year's next podcast?
I guess, yeah, like sorry, this is going to be very trivial, but what do you guys prefer for music? Do you guys prefer like streaming? Okay, outside of streaming, do you prefer vinyl, CDs, cassettes? Do you prefer live music?
That's a good question. I like it. It is a step down from contentness versus no, just kidding. But yeah, maybe that could be
even better. What's a physical NFT you collect?
Okay,
you collect anything?
Yeah. What's a physical NFT that we collect? All right. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate you listening in, and please check us out next time on the Select All podcast. Take care.
Good day.
Ciao.